Airflow, drip tips. Drip tips, boring out the drip tip for a better airflow. Okay, I'm going to make this short, sweet, simple. I'm going to add a little shout out at the end. Um, so, what I noticed, okay, straight off the bat, with these 3mm air holes, okay, and the standard 510 drip tip, I was getting restriction, airflow restriction from the drip tip. Okay, this was with me doing all the calculations on paper, and I noticed that I was getting restriction on air, not from the holes in the cap, but from the airflow, from the drip tip, the inner diameter of the drip tip. What I ended up doing, why I did come up with this kind of conclusion, is you saw my Nautilus tank, okay? The drip tip that this comes with has a huge inner diameter, huge, okay, beyond anything I've seen. So I didn't really think much about it, and I've been using it, and so it fits on some of my RDs, it doesn't fit on some of my other ones. It's not a very standard 510, it does not fit on everything. So my friend really liked it, and he basically it's his now, right? He's been vaping on it, and I was thinking, does it really make a difference? So I took the drip tip and I tried it. And wow, it does make a difference. The inner diameter of that makes a difference. What did I do? I drilled it out, okay? How did I drill it out? I drilled it out by just drilling little by little by little by little until I got a failure. So this is a drilled out, let's see if I could do it like that. And you can see that's a huge hole, you see that? Opposed to your standard drip tip, which is, compare right there, right there. See, so you could tell already right off the bat that this hole is massively different. Okay, so I did fail on this one, and where did I fail? If you compare these are two exactly the same drip tips, I failed where that O-ring went in. Okay, so now I knew how big I could go, and I just made it a little bit smaller than where I failed, and I drilled it through. Okay, I still got a failure though. You can kind of see it in this M-Flux drip tip. You see the inside, it's silver, silver, silver everywhere, and then silver, silver, silver. There's a black speck right there. You saw that? In there, there's a black speck right there. Okay, what that is that is my O-ring, guys. I drilled it, and then the M-Flux did not come with a completely centered hole. I drilled it on my drill press with a clamp here, but the clamp did fail, and I did get this little swirly thing. It works fine, doesn't matter. But it works perfectly, although I did kind of hold out that wall in here, it does work perfectly fine. So I do get an increase in airflow. That being said, the drilling drip tips I use just a drill, just a hand drill. I just, kind of like that. When I was drilling out the aluminum, although it does cut like butter, aluminum is still a very soft metal, so they cut through pretty easily. I did use a drill press just because I didn't want any kind of failures, although I still got one, but whatever. To buy a drip tip with a big inner diameter is going to be kind of a pain in the ass because most companies don't tell you what the inner diameter of that hole is. And out of the freaking huge amount of drip tips that I do have, right? This is just one bag out of many that I have of drip tips of all different kinds. I noticed that the inner diameter kind of averages to like 4.8 millimeters, and I wanted it bigger. Okay, I wanted like 6 or 7. So I wanted it big. Only way I got that was to drill it out. I drilled it. How does it perform? Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. I noticed right away that I do get a lot more airy draw. I get more vapor production. Okay, and I get a cooler vape. That's what I get, right? And that's kind of everything I wanted. Now, when the wick is fully saturated with e-juice, there's not much difference. Okay, you're gonna get pretty much like equal amounts of flavor and warmth. You'll get a little bit more vapor off the bigger diameter drilled out drip tip. So, where you notice the most amount of difference is when that wick is no longer saturated, kind of medium saturation to the low end. What you'll notice is on the smaller diameter drip tip, you'll be getting warmer vapes. At the same time, the flavor is going to be still good, but not quite there with the bigger bore drip tip. The inner bore, bigger. I noticed that the the flavor was consistent all the way throughout my vaping with the bigger hole on the drip tip. And when you get close to the end, with the small drip tip, you will get a burnt flavor and you will get a harsh hit when it's dry. Unlike the the bigger bore that I drilled out, the inner diameter, at the end you will still taste the burnt flavor, but it won't be a harsh hit, and you'll know right away this is when I need to re-drip. If you do go beyond that, you do get a harsh hit, but it's nowhere near what you get off the smaller diameter drip tip, okay? So that being said, this is a medium saturated wick on a 0.25 ohm coil on a not so charged battery with a big drip tip. Tastes awesome. Vapor production is there, all that. I'll use a standard drip tip, I guess, just for you to see. And I don't even know if you can see a difference, but this is the standard 510 drip tip. Okay, a little less vapor production. Flavor's still good, but not quite like the bored out drip tip. Okay, they do sell super carb drip tips out there, but I'm not sure how well that would work really, because the hole is in the top of the drip tip and not the actual freaking atomizer itself. So you're getting the air from not the atomizer outside the drip tip area. So I don't see the point in that. Delicious. Okay, so that's that. It doesn't make a difference. Okay. Now for the shout out. Thank you for commenting, Mr. Celtech426 and Kingpin360 on my Ego C-Twist video. You'll be getting your e-liquids pretty soon. I do have them all kind of enveloped out and ready to ship. I'll hope to get that out tomorrow. You'll go ahead and try Omega Fruit. Yeah, Delta Fruit. Awesome. You can buy this at www.soseliquid.com. That is www.soseliquid.com. You can also get your hands on an Ego C-Twist there. Let's go with Mr. Celtech426. I noticed that you bought an MVP version 2 or version 3. Right? Version 3, I believe, is coming out, but it's pretty much identical spec as the version 2. Great choice in the upgrader here. I'm loving this. Now you have the ability to have a ohms checker. You are upgrading from what looks to be a Vision Spinner, which is pretty much identical to the Ego C-Twist. A good upgrade, I believe, because now you have the higher capacity battery. There are 2 LiPo batteries in here, and you do have the ability to charge your devices and use this as a pass-through now. At the same time, you have your ohms checker, a puff counter. You can now change it to variable wattage, although I do not vape wattage, so it's not a big thing for me. The form factor is pretty awesome. These box mods, once you go box mod, it's pretty hard to go back. Love the box mod, love how it stands up, and all that mumbo jumbo. What I recommend for you, and what I recommend for Kingpin360, is a adjustable airflow clearomizer if you do vape clearomizer. Or if you're looking for a good, functioning, best bang for your buck RDA, like an Igo W, do recommend that. Wrap yourself a 1.6 ohm coil, and you could have immense amount of flavor. At the same time, you'll be, producing a lot more vapor. I recommend those 2 things. What I do have on hand right now that is kind of at the 1.6 ohm and higher is the Nautilus tank. I do have a Nimbus, but that's right at 0.9 ohms. This will fire sub-ohm, just to let you know. Although, will you be getting the voltage power out of it? No, you won't. It will kind of knock it down to a lower voltage so it can fire. I believe it has a 3 amp switch limit, so at 0.5 ohms-ish, you'll be getting like 2 volts-ish. But it will fire, which is interesting. That being said, what I recommend is the Nautilus. Definitely something like this. It's great for driving and all that. 1.9 ohm coil at 4.5 volts. Let's go ahead and give her a little vape, kind of give you a demo of what you can do with these suckers. I'm going to be using a standard 510 drip tip and not the bored out one, just so it's kind of an example of how you could vape. Put on the biggest air hole. Go straight to lung. Good vapor production. Okay, I'm vaping Delta Fruit. You will get a sample of this, Mr. Celtic 426. Okay, Kingpin 360. You wrote my next purchase will be something like this, which would be the Eagle C-Twist. I've been looking at the Kanger BB. Kanger BB is pretty much the same as the Eagle C-Twist. They're identical in some ways. So boom, again, very good decision. Very, very good decision. What I recommend for you is the same, the Nautilus tank. You will get about the same vapor production as the MVP. So you do, if you're upgrading from from a non-variable voltage to a variable voltage device, man, it's a huge freaking upgrade. Go ahead and pop that in and kind of show you the vapor production. It's going to be identical to the MVP. I do have this at 4.5 volts. So with the beauty ring, it'll look like this. If you guys think that the Nautilus is overpriced, the Aspire Nautilus, there are other substitutes like the Kanger Aereo Tank, another great adjustable airflow device. It is like about a quarter of the price of this Nautilus tank, so definitely worth looking at. I actually really like this Nautilus tank quite a bit. The more and more I vape on it, I kind of like it. The reason why I'm using a Clearo these days, not really using it. My wife has got into vaping because I'm vaping so much now. She just wants it, so I put some fluid on this Nautilus tank for her, and it's 0 Delta Fruit, so that she can go ahead and enjoy vaping with me. At the same time, she doesn't get that nick. Because what she was doing was she was taking draws out of my device, and she was getting a nicotine delivery, and she doesn't need the nick because she doesn't vape nick at all. Gee, kind of out of all kinds of fluids, so I guess I'll vape some Omega Fruit. So that is that. Celtic 426 and Kingpin 360, very good decision on getting the upgrades. If you guys have any questions about your devices, let me know. You have my email. You can always leave a comment and all that. Okay. And I'm glad I could kind of review some of the stuff that you will be getting. Very good choices. Very, very good. I will have more giveaways, probably more e-juice giveaways, and maybe some device giveaways, depending on how time is restricting for me. I am very busy these days. Oh my gosh, it's been crazy, crazy busy. So even these YouTube videos, I'm not going to be editing this. It's because it's going to go up like this. I have pretty much everything set up, kind of, sort of, where I'm at. But it's just I've been running around everywhere. I've been busy. So if I don't respond to your comments, or if I don't respond to an email for like a day, please give me like 2 to 3 business days for me to respond to you, get your orders in and all that. I do have the giveaway juices here, so it is pretty much all packaged up, ready to go. As far as that goes, you'll be getting it. I'll probably ship it out tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy my videos. If you do kind of think I should improve on some points or another, please let me know. I know my backstop is not the most prettiest thing to see. You know, you see a bed a nice bed. A Stearns and Foster bed, I believe it is, but it's, you know, bed backstop, not the greatest thing to see. But, you know, if you see that I could improve in some ways, please let me know. Thanks for watching.